Hey everybody, I'm Greg Sowell, and I'm here to just quickly show you a little demonstration on how to fix the CUPS CVE vulnerability. So don't get me lying, I am not a security expert, but I do have this repository here with a playbook that I've created. So from what I understand, CUPS is going to be the print system that's used on Linux operating systems. And if you map kind of a remote printer to your local, it uses this CUPS browsed service, and that's where the vulnerability lies. They are being patched, that stuff's going to come out, but if you want to mitigate it very quickly, honestly, I don't think most people have this installed, CUPS even to begin with, but just to make sure that this service is turned off on any infrastructure that could potentially have it there, we use this simple playbook right here. So it is designated to run against all hosts. It's going to do privilege escalation. That's become true, right? So that I can kind of sudo into this machine, and it's connecting to the service, looking for the CUPS browsed. It's going to make sure it's stopped and disabled, right? So enabled means whenever I reboot, I'm going to actually come on and go. And so we're making sure that's disabled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to 0 to 60, add this to a sender. Now you could absolutely run this via command line if you wanted to, but if you're in an enterprise environment that has kind of restrictions, compliance, control, any of that stuff, sender's a really good way of doing that and maintaining all of that information. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to go into projects. This is where I get my Git repository, that public one you just saw, find all the links. And I'm going to call this my CUPS CVE repo. I probably didn't need to say repo because it's in here in my projects, and those are always sourced from repositories, but I'm going to put that in there, and I will click save. When it does that, it's going to go ahead and synchronize. You see that last job status right there. So it is waiting while it does the synchronization. All right, popped up successful. That means it's pulled that playbook in. I have inventories. I've got my generic inventory here that's got several different hosts inside of here. And specifically, I've got the CUPS service enabled on Greg Rocky 9 right here. So if I pop to this box, I can do system status CUPS browse. You can see it's active and running. Now, even if this was already disabled, it's not going to hurt anything to run this playbook. So Ansible is idempotent, which means it's going to check, verify the state. So I'm essentially saying I want it to be in this state. If it's already in that state, it does nothing. So it's really only going to affect hosts that have this enabled. So I have an inventory. So I've got my host I'm going to operate against, my project, which pulls in my playbook's credentials. How am I going to log into this thing? I've already got that in there. So let's create a job template really quick. This is where we pull it all together. So I'm going to click add job template. I'm going to call this CUPS CVE mitigation inventory, big list of all the hosts I could operate against. This is the menu at your restaurant. So which ones could we potentially pick? Project, again, remember this is my Git repo. And so I'm going to put CUPS in here. There you are. CUPS, I'm going to select the playbook. There's only one, so it selects it by default. Credentials, how I actually log into this thing. I'll pick my default one here. Now, in my playbook, I said all. And by default, there's an all group inside of my inventory, which is all the hosts in there. I don't necessarily want it to run against that because for demo purposes, I want it to go as quick as possible. So I'm going to use the limit field here and set it to Greg Rocky 9. I could also hit this prompt on launch and it'll pop up a box whenever I launch it to ask me for that additional information, but I'm just going to lock it down to this one individual. I'm going to click save, and guess what? I'm going to go ahead and just click launch. It's really that simple. Once it's in your infrastructure, you can just click launch. It doesn't matter if it's one host like mine, 1,000 hosts, 10,000 hosts. It's going to go out there, reach out, and perform all these actions. So I'll come back once it's done. All right, it's just that simple. You can see the change condition happen for Greg Rocky 9. Let me tab over to that server. I'll check the system control status on the CUPS browse service. You can see it is not running, so it's stopped and it's disabled right there. So as you can see, this vulnerability is easy to sidestep, easy to take care of. Hopefully this works out well for you. If you need help doing some automation in your environment, you're more curious about Ascender and how you can get that up and running for your infrastructure, right? It works great across silos, all that good stuff. Feel free to reach out. If you have any questions or comments on this, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out in that regard too. I think you can see I just want people to talk to me. I'm so lonely here. You guys take care. Happy automating. Happy CVE repairing. And we'll see you next time. Bye.